Hello and welcome to Affinity. We're going to do an edit of this picture, and it's kind of okay but a little bit unexciting. But something you can do when a picture is, sort of part way there, is to try it in black and white. So we're going to do a monochrome thing, and the really useful thing you've got down here is the black and white control, because when you do this we can change how each color works and what happens to it. However, different parts of the picture will need different amounts. So for example, let's turn up the cyan here, or you maybe turn it down so for the sky, look at the sky, and maybe the blue as well. You can get an interesting sky by doing that, but look, that's made these things here go black, because if you turn this off for a moment you can see these are cyan as well. So we need to separate them out. So let's just set up a set of parts here. So I take the selection brush and do the sky, and alt click to undo bits of it, and then do a refine and paint the matte over the edges like this. There you go, that's okay. Then apply that, and then we're going to save the selection in the channels down here. So I go down here to pixel selection, right click that, create spare channel, right click that and rename that to sky. Now then, if I invert this I'll get the rest of the land. So select, invert, and pixel selection, create spare channel, and I've now got, and let's rename that to land, not sky. And however, it can be useful here to be able to do this water area separately. So I'm going to Control D to get rid of that for the moment, and I'm going to paint in here to select this. This is a bit trickier because you're going to have to go in and around things and then undo bits of it. So I'll paint backwards here. I'm going to get on with this and I will come back to you when I've selected all this, because it's just going to take a while. Okay, so there we got the water selected, and so I will go down to the pixel selection here, right click, create spare channel, and right click and rename water. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to the land and not sky there, right click that and load to pixel selection, so that's a different selection, and we're going to subtract the water out of it so we just get land. So right click there, subtract from pixel selection, now we just got the land. So the pixel selection now, create spare channel, and right click on that and rename that land. So now we've separated land, sky and water. Now then we can start doing things with this. We don't need selections anymore, Control D to get rid of that. So now let's start off. We'll do a series of black and white conversions here, and let's start off with the land. So right click on the land down here, load to black and white adjustment, and now you can see it's immediately the land's gone black and white and the rest is still in colour. We get to do that, but because we have sort of intersected everything, everything will fit together nicely. Now we play around with this here to turn up here, so we can turn up the red to get a bit of light, get a bit of, what's that going to do? That's a bit more light on this here. Nothing much in the green there. Cyan, those bits there, or just, do we need those up or down? Maybe just a little bit there, so there's not really going to stand out so much. Blue, again, it's in the same sort of area, so we'll deal more with this later, but we've pushed that a little bit there as far as we dare. Now then, let's do another one here. Actually, let's name this as we go along here. Land BW for black and white. Then we'll go to here and black and white again, and now let's do the skies. So right click on the sky down there, load to that black and white, and now the skies are almost invariably just cyan and blue. You can play with these here, you're not going to get very much. So, and often turning down them here, the cyan and the blue, you're going to get a bit more character in the sky. You can go quite a long way with this, but you don't want to bash it out altogether. Well, unless it looks good, you can do as far as you like. So that's a bit more in the sky. Now then, and let's rename that sky black and white, and we'll do another one black and white, and we'll right click on that, and so we've got them for the water. And we'll just call that and so now this will do the water. So we can then play with this separately. Again, this is going to be mostly cyan and blue, sometimes green. See, there's not much green in there at all. So we can turn this up a bit here and get just a bit more light on the water there. Just a little bit. Okay, that's already looking a lot better. There's something here, this little thing here is kind of bothering me. So I'm going to go to the bottom here. I'm going to zoom into that so I can do a selection on it. And I will get the selection brush and just select that little area there. Then I'm going to put in a pixel layer above here. There, and I'll just copy a bit from down here onto this. So I'll go to the clone brush here, make sure I've got current layer and below set there. Alt click down here and just paint into there, so that's toned that down. And you could do the same in other areas as well if you wanted to, but it's just bugging me mostly. There we go. Control D gets rid of the marching ants. Now then, let's do some curves. So up here we're going to go to the curves. You may notice here, by the way, that I've got set so the new layers appear here rather as child layers. And I'll do the land again, right click the land, load to that. Let's call that land curves. And now I can do a bit more of this up here. Actually, this background land is a kind of annoying. I don't want to change that. So all I need to do is get to a paintbrush here, paint on black. If I paint on this here, I'm going to paint directly onto the mask again, so I can just paint across there and this won't change that here. So now I'm just on the foreground land. So I can pull that up here, maybe pull the blacks down a bit, not too far, just enough to get a bit of contrast in it. And how much light? I'd like to be a fair amount of light on here, but you just don't want to overdo it. Okay, that'll do that. And do I need any more on the background? No, not so much. I'm just pulling this out here, but you can work to balance out those. And what would we do? Let's do a bit of just a sharpening on the foreground. So I'm going to go to the, just do a high pass sharpen here. Blend mode, vivid light, linear light, and just zoom in here so you can see what you're sharpening, and bring up the radius here. Very seldom go above 1. I think that 1's enough there. I don't think I need to do any pre-noise reduction, so that's that one there, and right click land and load to that to make sure I'm painting on the land. I can do a duplicate of that, Control J, and just turn the radius all the way down to the total minimum, and that will just get the finer edges. So there you go, that's brightened that up a bit. And we could play a bit more, but I think overall that's not too bad, is it? So if I click on the top one here, shift click on the bottom one here, and go here's before, And here's after. There's before and there's after. There we go. That was fun. Thank you very much for watching.